Looks like that corner's not level. I'm guessing it's a quarter out. We'll see. It may be a little bit more than that. It actually looks like it is level, don't it? Let me check the inside corner. This one's off a quarter. See, we're touching there and we're off. We all are off a little bit. So we could bump that out. We could probably bump that out and make that level. So these are just like the pillow windows you buy. They're like a contractor grade. They don't seem to be that great. You gotta really pay attention to make sure that doesn't get a bow in the middle. Other than that, they seem to be okay. He just didn't, you gotta push it down where it's straight and then nail it. Not up here, just down here. So somebody has to just hold this down because there's nothing keeping that from flopping around. So up in the gable end, he put a stiffener on that gable end wall. That way it doesn't, because it was kind of tall. So I told him to put something on that gable end to keep those studs from bowing. He's got his double stud under the LVL. That looks good. Looks like all the nails have been put in the hangers like they're supposed to be. He's got this corner solid under that LVL. That one's the same way. It's about an 1/8 high in the middle. This door looks pretty good. It shuts good. This is one thing that is not quite right. You can see how we're touching at the bottom, but then we're open a good, I can almost stick my finger in that. So just looking at the door this way, it looks good. It's perfect, but he needs to get that top. That top needs to pull in. Either this needs to come in or this needs to go out. I need to make sure that this wall is level and this wall is level and make sure he don't have that wall kind of off a little bit. He's got a brace on the joint of that ridge, that's good. So up here he put the collar ties every 4 feet, which that's code, that's fine. Ridge braces, looks like they're about every 10. It's probably kind of stretching it on that. Probably could have used a couple more. I'd say we're within code, but I kind of like to have a little bit more roof bracing, just to make sure. We use 2x8 rafters, and it looks like we're spanning, it's got 4, 8, 12. He's about 16 feet. That might be a little much too. I'll have to check that out. The ceiling joist is 16. So we need to add a, the plumber cut this out so we get the tub in, but then we also need to put his, this stud should have been slid over a little bit, kind of move that stud bay over so he can get his valves in there good. So we need to do some little bit of work there for the plumber. And then he's got a brace on that gable end. I'll probably knock that brace off. It's kind of sticking down the ceiling a little bit. He had that up there temporarily to hold that straight. So I just need to take that guy off. Right here, he notched the joist for the valley to go through. That's not really supposed to do that. So we'll probably come back in here about 1 foot and cut that one off and put a blocker across there, make that a little stronger. I need to put a brace going from the top of this wall, just angle on a 45 as far as we can get on that ridge. I could probably put one off the top of the ceiling joist, but I don't like doing that. It's better to brace off the walls. Every one of them are doing that. Ethan, I want you to go ahead and about where that knot is, cut that off straight, and then stick another block in across there, and then give me some studs for this tub. I need a stud turned flat here and one turned flat here, and then add the stud back. Move this one over first. That's the center. He's got his center marked. Go 7 1/4 that way, and then go 7 1/4 that way, and put me 2 studs right there. And then add one here, and then put another one back at 16 inches. So you'll have one here, 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 and then here, and then one over there. And then we got to do a little bit of work on the outside too. Looks like he's got 3 studs under this LVL, which is good. He's going to put the furnace and the hot water heater out here. These are the shims that we use under the beams and crawl space. We use steel shims. These are like 5 by 6. That way, when that beam goes across that pier, We can raise it up 1/8 inch, 16th inch, whatever it takes. And code requires us to use steel shims. Used to we use like oak or something that wouldn't compress, but now they want us to use steel shims. So code requires us to go at least, it's like 16 or 18 inches past the garage door. I like to go at least 2 foot, just so there's no question. If it gets too narrow, then they want us to put this big Simpson bracket on there, which this wall's got OSB. It's got a shear wall further back that way. But if it's just only the garage sitting out there, then we'd have to put this big old bracket on here to keep it from moving. But so code requires us to take that beam past each side of the door. I usually go about at least 2 feet or more. Sometimes we just go all the way across the garage just to make it easy. But they started doing that several years ago around here. He missed his attic access ladder. We got to cut that in. He's got the ladders laying over there. We got a few things we got to do here. The builder mentioned the front door. So he's got the same thing going on here. It's tight at the bottom and it's sticking way out here. Sometimes the door itself can be twisted. Usually on new construction though, it's usually not, but maybe if they've left the door sitting somewhere leaning against the wall, and it might get twisted a little bit. So sometimes that's the case, but I'll put the level on it and see what it looks like. Looks like he's got it kind of opened up here a little bit. He needs to pull over that way a little bit, or I can shin that side and push it a little bit. Stuff like that I don't like to see when it's opened up a little bit like that. That needs to be tighter. So we're going to go around and tighten things up a little bit. I missed it. Looks like we need some collar ties across there. On the outside, we missed something on the outside. So right here, the brick is going to go on up past that gable. So I got to cut that out a little bit. So this is one reason why we do a walkthrough at the end of a job, just to make sure we get all this little stuff taken care of. I should have got here a little bit sooner because the builder caught some of this stuff. It's better if we catch it and get things taken care of before the builder or the homeowner catches it. You don't want them pointing out all your mistakes. You want to catch it before it gets that far. But we didn't get here quite in time. It's been a few days since Chongo finished up, and so we'll get this stuff taken care of and he can get on with the other trades.